Do you know that they have people that are just jealous of you for no reason at all? You could be crippled in a wheelchair with hospital bands on and they still be jealous of you. And some of those people are the ones that are closest to you, that you think are your friends, and they really aren't. I had this person, every time they come around me, where'd you get that shirt? Where'd you get that from? How'd you get that? When you see a person constantly doing things like that, that means they're a very insecure person who does not necessarily like to see other people have anything. They have narcissistic tendencies. They have insecurity issues. They're jealous of everything, and they covet. You ever heard that thing in the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not covet? Well, these people covet. They want everything you have. They want to be you. And the reason is they can't stand the way other people love you. Somewhere along the way, they missed out on getting the affection or the love that they should have gotten as children. And now it's turned into a mental illness, and their obsession is to take everything that somebody else has, or to duplicate everything that somebody else has. They will study your mannerisms. They will watch you. But the thing is, even when they do that, they're not going to get the same results, because that is not their path. And eventually the mask will fall off and people will see that they are just being straight up fake. Now, we know, if you've watched in the past about narcissistic type personalities, they hate to see other people have anything. I don't care how little it is. Honey, you could have on a fake ring, fake something, and they want it, or wonder how you got it or why you got it. And then after they question you, they go out and try to duplicate it. This person asked me, is that a new bra? Are those new panties? But where you get that from? You see a person like that and it's supposed to be your friend, something is seriously wrong. Back the hell up. That's what you do. You back the hell up and walk away from them, because something is seriously wrong. And you see those people who always want more and more and more and more, and they are never satisfied. Never, ever satisfied. And they see you have something, they want it. They see something and they're constantly surrounding themselves with more and more things, and they never feel happy because they're not happy inside. Something is seriously missing within their souls, within their minds, within their lives, and they feel less than others. And when a person feels that they're less than others, they will try to make your life hell, because they want you either to diminish your light to meet their darkness. They're miserable people. They have not found that happiness comes from within and not from the things outside of you. So they chase this invisible happiness their whole lives and never ever really find it. That's sad. And I'm like this. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to deal with you. I can't heal you, because if you absorb all of my light for your healing, you gonna leave me what? Broken. And I'm not gonna allow that. Period. I fight for my light. I fight for my connection with the Most High God. I fight for my peace. And nobody's going to disturb my peace unless I'm disturbing theirs. And that's just the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be. Now, we both can have peace, or we can go to war. Don't come up in my house asking me how I got that, where I got it from. You don't know whether it was a gift or I got it from. It's really none of your business. Period. What I do in my home or how I live my life. If you had more business of your own, you wouldn't be so concerned about what other people are doing. Like I said, other people can't stand the way other people love you. They think like, oh, if I take his place or her place, I'm going to get the same thing. No, it don't work that way. Because first of all, you are you and I am me. You have to feel comfortable in your own skin. You cannot be somebody else. God put each person on their individual paths, and you are not supposed to have the same fingerprint or life path as somebody else, because that is not what he meant for you to be. He meant for you to be you, uniquely you, and there's a reason that you are uniquely you, for his use. If everybody had the same makeup, the same thing, I mean, what use are you if you're identical to what other people are? There would be no reason for living, quite frankly. So yes, there are people that have emptiness inside, and they're constantly trying to cause havoc for other people and constantly trying to fill up that empty space because they haven't found their purpose. They haven't found what they're supposed to be doing. Instead of looking within and hooking to the Most High God, they just go out disturbing other people because they don't know how to look within. So they're looking at everything outside of them in hopes that it will bring them happiness. I'm going to take what somebody else has. But when you get it, you're not going to be happy because that was not meant for you. It was meant for someone else. It was meant for the person you attempted to take it from. Everything in this life, nothing, there are no coincidences. Your life and the way you came into this life, we chose our life before we incarnated into this life. And you may not understand that unless you're extremely spiritual or connected to the Most High. Before we incarnate or come to this earth, we are souls. And we have a soul path that we are to carry out when we get to this earth. And people don't understand. If you understand this, you will know that when you come to earth, we all have an individual path to live, and you cannot live someone else's path. You cannot walk somebody else's walk. You cannot be in somebody else's shoes. You cannot live somebody else's life. You have to find your own life and live your own life, and you cannot impede or continue to impede on other people's pathways. Are you gonna stumble yourself up and end up in misery? You ever see those women, grown behind women that should have learned this lesson? They always got to have what somebody else got. They were brought up in a way and they always gotta have the man that another woman has, because they lacked attention earlier. Maybe they didn't have a father, or maybe something was missing. And then we now got these things, I'm gonna say it, you now got these things where there are boys growing up without strong male figures. Therefore, they want to be what they see the most. God put us on earth to procreate, not to dipstick into a duty. You understand what I'm saying? We were made to procreate and replenish the earth. That is what the ankh is. When you see that roundness at the top and that stem coming down, that's the female and that's the male. Meaning eternal life. Eternal life. That's what they mean by eternal life. Constantly procreating, having children for life. People. Eternal life. When you see the cross, I don't know who came up with the symbol of the cross, but actually it was supposed to be a fish of peace and feeding humanity the gospel. But somehow it turned into a cross. When you see that cross, that's male on male. That's what they developed in the Catholic Church. And y'all know what's going on in the Catholic Church, where those little boys were being molested and everything like that. Honey, they got it all wrong. And I will clearly say it's all wrong. Just because everybody does it, it doesn't make it right. Just because it's a trend, it doesn't make it right. Truth is always truth, no matter how you try to twist it, no matter how you try to hide it, no matter how many people say it's not true. Truth is still truth. And back to what I was talking about, yes, there are people, what I call soul snatchers, life snatchers. They want to trade destinies with you. But the thing is, they don't know what you had to go through to get to where you are. And the thing is, most of them aren't even strong enough to even walk the path that you had to walk to get to where you are. They think you just jump from one point to the present. Not knowing that maybe you had to be homeless. Not knowing that you had to go days of being hungry. Not knowing that you died and had to come back to get the strength that you needed to live the life that you live now. And then some people are just good at taking a little and making it look like a lot. But they don't know this. They just see what they see and they automatically want what you got. But they don't have the strength to go the path and walk the walk that you had to walk to get to where you are. They'll say, oh, you got all these degrees. You must have did that. They didn't know that I had to work 3 and 4 jobs to get that BA degree or that master's degree. They didn't know that I had to go hungry some days. They didn't know that I was also raising a child while I grabbed those degrees. That shows you strength. If you can't show the same strength and walk the path that I had to walk to get to where I am, don't talk about anything that I do. Don't think you can jump and take my place, because I had to go to hell and back to get to where I am. And if you're willing to do that, You as strong as I am or stronger. Because this life that I've lived is not for the weak. It will never be for the weak. I'm telling you, be aware of everything around you and the people you keep close. I hang mostly alone because, like I said, I have a sixth sense and I can pretty much see through energy. So I know who's who and what's and what's for me. And sometimes I'll see that a person is on the dark side of the coin. But sometimes I just like to see just how far they're gonna go. Whether they're gonna be healed or if they're gonna continue to do the same things over and over and over again. And sooner or later, what I've learned, they will trip their own selves up. They will fall into their own graves that they've dug for themselves. So I'm telling you, peace be upon you from smart and messy situations.